In today's video, I show you step by step how to build the new best base in Palworld, which comes with 3 oil veins. This base setup has everything you will ever need, from maxed out ranches and breeding pens to the best base food in the game. It also includes all the workstations in the game, allowing you to craft anything you need. When it comes to collecting materials, then that's not a problem, as this base has all the mining sites in the game, as well as an expedition site and a large fishing pond. To start building the base, I'd recommend placing the Palbox in the middle of all the oil veins. The exact location is 900 at 195. Once placed, head over to the oil veins and stand at the very back of the oil vein, facing southeast. You can see your compass at the top of the screen. When you're facing southeast, equip the oil extractor and align the back of the extractor with the oil vein. Move to the right and place down your extractor just before it turns red. When done correctly, you can just move to the left and place down the second oil extractor. Using this method, you can easily rotate the oil extractor so they face whichever way you want. When rotating extractors, you want to rotate them when they're already perfectly in place. You want to use this technique facing southeast for all 3 of the oil veins. Now all the extractors are placed, go around the base placing down stone defense walls. Place the defense walls all around the perimeter of the base. You want to always keep the defense walls on the blue line. This will prevent the walls from being outside of the base, stopping it from decaying. You can easily rotate the walls, so keeping it on the blue line is very easy. No pals will come from the pond area, so you can leave this area open. With the defense walls placed, it's time to destroy all the trees. You want to do this step before placing down foundations, as the trees can get stuck inside. You will be left with a bunch of foliage which doesn't go away. To do this, you want to place your foundation higher off the ground. To do this, extend your camera out as far forward as you can. This will allow you to raise or lower the foundation. Line your foundation with the oil extractor, then place it down. You want this to be as close as possible to the extractor. From here, you want to place down foundations around all the extractors. When you get to the east side, next to the pond, it will no longer let you place foundations, so don't worry. Just fill in the ground with foundations. If it doesn't let you place down foundations, just move somewhere else and carry on. When you've finished, it should look something like this. You can place roofs where it doesn't allow you to place foundations. This allows you to have more building room. For extra support, snap pillars underneath the roofs. I like to place stairs going down to the pond. You have to place stairs on top before it allows you to place them below. This gives us access to the pond. We can't build here, but we can, however, place down a fishing pond structure. Hold alignment mode and place the fishing pond on top of the lily pad. As you can see, your pals can easily access the fishing pond, making this a perfect spot. On the other side, place stairs going up to the foundation. You want to do this before placing your expedition site on top of the pond, because if you place the expedition site first, it won't allow you to place the stairs afterwards. If you want to see the pond, you can place the expedition site in the air. To do this, place 3 pillars going up on a lily pad with a floor on top. Place down a locker, then equip to the expedition site. While holding alignment mode, look up and down to see the placement point. You can move left and right to slowly rotate it. Once built, you must remove the locker first. You don't have to use a locker, as you can use anything that can hold a structure. As you can see, going 3 high and placing a locker gets you the same height as the top part of the island. Head up the stairs to the far west side and place a pillar at the back of the foundation. You want this to be in the middle. This will allow you to align the ore mining site 2 to the pillar, which gives you a nice placement. Head to the left and place down 2 pillars going up. Use alignment mode to snap the eastern pipe to the pillar. Once constructed, place another one on top. This will allow you to snap a wood cutting site on top of the pipe. Just make sure the camera faces the pillar. Now you can remove the pipes and place a stone pit at the very bottom, snapping to the pillar. Once everything is placed, you can remove the pillars at the back. You can do this for all the mining sites, so I have ore, wood, stone, coal, sulfur, pure quartz and hexalite. Now we just need chests next to all the production sites as this decreases transporting time. To stack chests perfectly, I like to place down the new flags. The flags can be placed anywhere as they don't have a snapping point like a pillar. This allows me to place a flag in non-centered positions, which I can use to align lockers to the flag. Lockers will allow me to align refined metal chests on top of the lockers, but make sure you rotate the chest so it actually fits on top. Once placed, destroy the lockers and place another chest underneath. In most cases, you don't need to use a flag. You can start straight away with the locker placement. The flags are just to have chests centered and aligned when facing weird placements. Now you know how to stack chests, it's time to stack plantations. Head to the northwest side of the base and place down a wall in the center, leaving a 1 block gap behind. Equip a wooden bench and place it aligned to the wall. Align another 2 benches to the bench, rotated the opposite way. You want to do this until the benches are 3 high. Equip your plantation and hold alignment mode. Face the wall to snap the plantation on top of the benches. Once placed, remove the row of benches underneath to snap your next plantation in place. When it comes to the bottom row of benches, you can remove a foundation and place stairs. This allows you to be lower to the ground, giving you an easier angle to remove the last 3 benches. Now, you just need to snap your last plantation to the wall. Once everything is aligned and placed, you can remove the wall. To snap other plantations side by side, align 2 benches to the center of the plantation facing long ways. Again, you want to do this 3 high. This will allow you to place foundations side by side. Remember to remove the row of benches underneath every time you place down a plantation. You want to do this for all the plantations. However, when it comes to berries, you only need to place down 1 bench since a berry plantation is much smaller. For my plantations, I have onions, carrots, tomatoes, potatoes and berries. This is all the ingredients to make the best combat and base food in the game. I've also placed down a skill fruit orchard on each side of the plantations to passively grow skill fruits. Moving on to the breeding pens, we need a 5x5 area. For this, I'm using the northeast side of the base. Equip your breeding pen against the back wall, then move backwards until it turns blue. Then you want to go all the way to the left until it turns red. When it turns red, move back to the right until it's blue again, then place down the breeding pen. As you can see, this takes a whole 5x5 area. Remove the breeding pen and build a wall at the back. This will allow you to snap a container to it using the alignment mode. You will want to build the containers 7x3, as this will be just enough to fit the breeding pen on top. Place walls going up 5 high. This will allow you to snap the containers to the walls as we keep going higher up. As a little heads up, you can only place 10 items at a time. As you can see, if I place an 11th item, it will destroy the first item I placed, so make sure to construct them before placing down too many items. We will be placing 7 breeding pens, so we will need to place 6 layers of containers. You want to place the walls on the other side, as I find this to be the best way to get the breeding pens perfectly aligned. To align the breeding pens, climb onto the wall and equip the breeding pen. Make your way to the right side of the wall and move the camera to the left and right. This should find a snapping point for the breeding pen. Once placed, build a breeding pen and remove the containers underneath. Now we need to place them perfectly aligned with one another. To do this, head back onto the wall and just move left and right, lining up the 3 pillars together. Doing it this way makes it super easy to get them perfectly aligned. Keep doing this until you have placed down all the breeding pens. As you can see, I've managed to get all 7 breeding pens perfectly aligned. All that's left to do is place ladders next to the breeding pen's chests. This will allow us to easily store cakes inside. When it comes to collecting the eggs, it's best to just use a flying pal. You want to do the same thing for stacking ranches, but this time build a 5x2 area out of containers. You want the containers to be 4 layers high, so you will need to place 3 walls at the back. At the front of the containers, you will want to place down 6 Japanese-style chests. We will want to rotate the chest, which gives us enough distance to place down a ranch. When hanging onto the chests, equip the ranch and look to the right. Then move the camera to the left, and as soon as it turns blue you want to place it down. Remove the containers underneath when built to use the same tactic to place down another breeding pen. On the very bottom layer, it might not let you place the ranch down. This could be because of a missing foundation. If this is the case, just remove the walls and place down a foundation. This should allow you to build the ranch on the ground floor. You can easily remove the foundation and re-put the walls back into place. When you've finished every layer, you will end up with 5 breeding pens all perfectly aligned. This will produce a lot of materials. As a result, we will want a lot of chests close by. Find a spot where you'd like your chests to be placed. Then snap a flag to that chest. Remove the chest to snap a new chest to the flag. You must do this to make the ground chest aligned with all the other chests on top. Keep snapping chests to the flag to go higher up. To access the higher chest, you will want to place down a ladder, allowing you to easily climb up and down, accessing all the chests. Now the breeding pen is finished, we can go behind and stack beds. To stack beds, place a pillar on the corner of a foundation. We want to snap 2 benches to the pillar side by side. You will also want another pillar on the opposite corner of the foundation. These pillars need to be 5 high. Climbing on the opposite pillar helps snap the benches into place. You can also stand on the benches and jump up to quickly place a bench. For 15 beds, we will want to place benches going up 28 layers. When you've placed down all the benches, snap the bed on top. Remove 4 benches underneath. This will allow you to snap another bed. If you have your pal out, he can automatically build the beds for you. Just keep repeating these steps until all 15 beds are placed. I use nocturnal pals so they will never sleep. However, we still want beds in the base so our pals don't get negative effects. Talking about negative effects, let's place down some hot springs. In tight areas, find a spot where it allows you to build. Once placed, snap a flag in the middle of the hot spring. Now you have to snap 2 more flags to the right of the first flag, then go ahead and remove the first 2 flags placed. Snap a bench to the flag, then rotate the bench and snap 2 more benches to the bench. You want to build the benches 6 high. We put the flag in this position because it lets us snap a hot spring in the exact spot we placed on the floor earlier. Once placed, remove 3 layers of benches. This is just enough room to fit another hot spring. Do this again for the bottom row. Now I just need to go get a bunch of pals and wait to see if they can access the hot springs, which luckily for me they can. Now this just leaves us to stack production lines. For this I've placed down 2 walls. For the walls, snap 4 fireplaces together but make sure they're placed long ways. You only need to construct a 4th fireplace, you can delete the rest. On this side I want the weapons assembly line with the workshop. When placing these, face the wall and hold alignment mode. If you rotate the structure, you will see it snaps onto the fireplace. You can tell if they're facing the correct way by looking at the robotic arms. For the other side, you want to place the sphere assembly line on top of the powder assembly conveyor. This allows us to just look up and down to have access to both lines. We can also just jump on the conveyor to access the sphere assembly line. For the storage of the production lines, hold alignment mode to snap a chest. Then snap a chest to the right, which will allow us to snap a flag to the last chest. Destroy the chest and snap a chest to the side of the flag. Place chests 3 high for more material space. I did the exact same thing for the other production lines. Looking at the base, we need a better design for the pals to move around. So I've removed these 2 foundations and placed down stairs instead. This will allow our pals to move around to their desired destinations much better. Head to this location and snap a chest to the production line, then snap a flag to the chest. Remove the chest and snap 3 chests to the flag. Now we can snap a gigantic furnace to the chest, then a stove oven to the gigantic furnace, and lastly 3 chests to the stove oven. This is where our kindling pals will stay. From this location, turn around and place down 2 temporary walls. Snap the mill to the wall closest to the crops, then the crusher to the other wall. The mill is for players who creates flour instead of purchasing it. Head to the 4 production lines and place down a food box. This side of the base is the most active, so it makes sense to place the food box in this area. I also really advise you place down a medicine rack. These are so amazing. As you can see, as soon as a pal becomes sick, the pal will automatically take medicine from the rack. This stops all negative effects in the game, so your pals always work to their fullest potential. Just remember to keep the medicine stored inside. Head behind the crops, as this is where we will be hiding all the base bonus items. For the big items like the silo and water fountain, you can place them down on the ground so they don't stick out as much. All these items can be found in the other tab. You will also want to place down the wave generators from the infrastructures tab, as these buff your pals with increased work speed and decreases sand loss. Head to the Palbox and place down a global Palbox with a dimensional Palbox to each other. You can also place down a dressing facility which allows you to give your pals cosmetics. On the other side, place down a statue of power, a monitoring stand, and a PAL research laboratory. Make sure the lab is closest to the stairs, as this is the only structure the PALs will use in this area. Moving on to our personal items, we want to place down the item retrieval machine. I have the metal legs just over the foundation. From here you can move left and right to find the placement point. Snap a bunch of chests to the machine. If you remember when we stacked these chests, I had to remove the chest that was snapped to the flag. However, I've just figured out how to avoid this step. If you take a look at these chests, you can see one is misplaced while this one is perfectly aligned. This is because of this gap at the bottom between the chest and the flag. As you can see, they're different. To fix this, all you have to do is snap a flag to the chest, then rotate the flag so it's closest to the chest. As you can see, all these chests are now perfectly aligned. Using the flags does have a height limit, so to counter this, remove the flag and place down a Japanese style chest. We can place the flag onto the chest, but remember to rotate the flag. Now we can place down even more chests if needed. Next to the chests, I placed down a foundation with a floor to allow us to sleep in bed. Next to the bed, we have an antique dresser to customize our character and equipment. Over here, I've placed down the PAL gear workbench, guild chest, and a drafting table. Next to the furnace, I put down the advanced medicine workbench, as well as a PAL surgery table and a bunch of chests. Next to the breeding pen, I have an incubator to hatch all my eggs. Back at the mining area, we need a PAL pod to revive fallen pals. At the back, I'm placing 3 foundations to hold the Palessence condenser and a large power generator. Now you've seen me build the entire base, you may have noticed something. When designing a base, you want a single work suitability skill to be next to each other. This is why all the work suitability skills have their own area. Doing this keeps pals from wandering around the base, wasting not only their time, but yours. When it comes to bases, we all have a limited amount. This is why this base is the best base, as it's capable of doing everything the game has to offer. All you have to do is just simply swap your pals around. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button, as it helps the video out with the YouTube algorithm.
You don't click here to watch my dad's mega base. It's excellent.
It's been your boy Trops, and I'll catch you in the next one.